Hey guys, so it's time to do a speed comparison here between Sony and LG, the latest high-end phones. We do have the XZ Premium and the very beautiful LG G6 phone, which I haven't forgotten about. We do have it here, as you can see. So we're going to see how they do compare, because obviously LG is using slightly older technology here, so we just want to see if LG can give you a similar experience. Obviously with the LG you do get a better, arguably better aspect ratio in terms of the minimal bezel as well as dual camera, which is nice. So it is very worthy of a flagship, and I think you can get it for a much affordable price now compared to Sony and Samsung, which you can see does boot on faster here, which is nice. Again, as I said, Sony is very slow when it comes up to the start shot, but nevertheless we're going to see how they do compare. You can see we have set both of them up, and we just zoom in a little bit here. Just have a look at the basic apps first and then move on to the more demanding apps. This is Snapdragon 835 versus Snapdragon 821. So last year's processor in LG, and I think you can straight away see here who is a little bit faster because of that. I mean, it's leaving the LG standing literally, so no contest here. I don't think the strategy paid off actually for LG when it came to releasing the phone with the older processor just to get it out on the market. They should have just waited, I think, a little bit and then brought it out with the up-to-date specs. But you can see here, I think, no contest overall. The Sony's just killing it. That's all I can say, Camera. Again, you can see we do have some games as well. Let's have a look at WWE. Let's try this one. I think the contrast ratio is better on the LG in terms of these black kind of colours, but the problem with the LG displays, it's a little bit dim overall when you're outside, I've noticed. I've not checked the XC Premium yet, but hopefully it's quite bright. So I think this one's loading faster on the left, and we do have real racing. So this is like a massacre here, and that's all I can really say. It's like LG, you need to give us the latest processor, I think, going forward. I'm still hearing it. I'm hearing the previous game coming out of the speakers here. I think that's the LG actually. Yeah. That's weird. But let's just try GTA. Go. Shall I carry on with the speed test? My heart's breaking for LG here, honestly, because I've always loved LG from the LG G2, and this is just ridiculous. I feel like just calling it a day. I mean, it's just no contest. And I see what some people mean now by this aspect ratio. You can see some black areas here, because not every app gives you the ability. Well, I think this one does actually. So let's just try that. Maybe not. So I think some apps give you the ability to get rid of this black area. So that is good. But I mean, overall, I think the Sony has completely destroyed the LG. In the speed test comparison. Obviously there are some other things as well. Let's just have a look at the Wi-Fi. Whoops. So an app closed itself in the background. Both of them are fully up to date, by the way, latest security patches, etc. We'll just start with LG here. And quite an average score there for LG. But good upload. and watch Sony's masterclass of how to do Wi-Fi. Oh no, it's gonna show me up here. You see, it's gonna show me up. I thought Sony was going to completely dominate the LG. That must be a one-off. I mean, earlier it was performing really well. I think that's just, you know, some probably network traffic or something. Let's just give it another go. For fairness, separate them a little bit. That doesn't fit the narrative. Well done, LG. You know, LG's won when it comes to the Wi-Fi, which I wasn't expecting. But we're still getting that amazing upload here. Nearly 24 this time for Sony. But props where props is due. You know, we're going to give it to LG. We're going to have a look at the browsing here. Let's have a look at some websites, because we do like the fast Wi-Fi. And let's go to this one. We do like the fast Wi-Fi, but we prefer the fast browsing. And I think this one a little bit faster on the left there. Let's try Verge. It sounds like I'm talking about an uncle or something when I say try Verge. Is Verge home? I think Sony again here. Yes. So Sony's come back here with the browsing. Both of them don't use their own browser, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Multitasking. Let's try and see. And if there's any difference. LG there. We'll give LG a point. No reload. LG again. So LG, you know, LG is not down and out. Little LG. I gotta say, you know, I was expecting LG to be kicked out by now, but I'm glad I continued the video because you can see LG is not out, down and out for the count. I think it's doing a bit better here when it comes to your multitasking. A little bit slower than Sony when it comes to the camera still, but I think, oh, it did reload there. Let's try the game. Straight in here on the right to reload on the left. So I think Sony could improve the multitasking here quite a bit. I'm going to give that to LG when it comes to the multitasking. Very nice performance here. It's just a shame they didn't use the latest processor, because it could have really been as competitive as what you're getting with the other phones when it comes to, you know, the day-to-day performance. However, you can see it does have its own strengths with the multitasking and the Wi-Fi speed, as well as the dual camera obviously on the back, which is a nice thing to have, you know, when you want to do some interesting stuff. It's less fingerprint prone as well, I have noticed. You can see with this shiny back you do get lots of grease build up, but this is more of like a frosted material, which is quite nice. You get a quad DAC as well in some variants with the LG G6 like this one, and I think also wireless charging in some variants, but they haven't made these features available everywhere, which is a bit annoying, particularly as it did launch for a very high price. But I do suspect that that price has come down quite a lot now, you know, given that the V30 is on the horizon. I'd probably wait for the V30 if you're looking at buying the G6. It's going to be overall like the same kind of phone, but much better display with up-to-date specs. But if you're looking for the G6, you can see getting good performance overall. We're not quite up there with Sony and Samsung in terms of the apps opening. So yeah, just a quick little comparison here. We'll do some comparisons with the, you know, other things, looking at the gaming, etc. So do stay tuned for that. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.